All right, we're going to Psalms, the second chapter, and we're going to read verse 8. Psalms 2 and 8. It says, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the utmost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. That's the laws of the Most High. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve the Most High with fear, and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, Mashiach Yahushua, lest he be angry. He come back to judge and make war. And ye perish from the way. You hear that? When his wrath is kindled but a little. You hear that? Whatever he's going to do, that's his wrath just kindled a little. But a little. Blessed are they that put their trust in him. You hear that? Blessed are they that put their trust in him. So, it's very important. That's what you're looking at as we going through this lesson. You look at go to St. John, the 14th chapter. Let's see. We're going to start at verse 1. We're going to concentrate on verse 3 though, from the top. But it says, St. John 14 and 1 say, let not your heart, which is your mind, be troubled. You believe in the Most High? He said, believe also in me. He just said, hey, lest his anger be kindled but a little. Shoot. He said, you believe in the Most High? The first thing he said, hey, don't let your mind be troubled. You believe in the Most High? He said, believe also in me. For in my Father's house are many mansions. Many mansions. Remember, you got this flaming swords around the tree of life still right now, yo. But in his Father's house are many mansions, it says. Can you imagine that? Not the mansions that we see on this earth today. When it says streets paved in gold, so how you think the mansion's going to look? Wow. Unimaginable. It said, in my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. You see, he's going to prepare a place for us. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. Right? So, look at 2nd Esdras. 2nd Esdras, the 8th chapter. Because he said he's going to prepare a place for us. 2nd Esdras, the 8th chapter, 52nd verse. See, for unto you is paradise open. The tree of life is planted. See? The tree of life is planted in this paradise already open to us. Most High will. It will keep his commandments. Have faith in him. For unto you is paradise open. The tree of life is planted. The time to come is prepared. When we say, I'm going to prepare a place for you, the time to come is prepared already. Plenteousness is made ready. That means whatever you want, there's plenty of it. Plenteousness is made ready. A city is builded, and rest is allowed. Yeah. Yeah, perfect goodness and wisdom. So now, it says a city is builded. Let's look at that city that's built. We got to go to Revelation, the 21st chapter to see that. It said the city is built already. That's why it's important that the Spirit of the Most High helping us tell our brothers and sisters they got to come back to the laws of the Most High. Learn them, live, and apply them in their life every day. Not just on no Sabbath day, but every day. Look at Revelation 21:10. And he carried me away in the Spirit to a great and high mountain and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from the Most High, having the glory of the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua, Spirit, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal, and had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels. So 12 gates and 12 angels at each gate, one for each gate, one angel for each gate. And names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Now, how are you going to say that we don't exist when he's telling you? These gates, you want to go to the pearly gates? Yeah, these gates going to have written thereon the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. You can't get any other nation on that. Listen, on the east, 3 gates. On the east, 3 gates. On the north, 3 gates. On the north, 3 gates. On the south, 3 gates. On the south, 3 gates. And on the west, 3 gates. On the west, 3 gates. That's 3 gates on the east, west, north, and south, which make up 12 gates. So each tribe, whatever tribe you are going to, of children of Israel, we just read, going to go into that special gate. And the wall of the city had 12 foundations, Salakia. And the wall of the city had 12 foundations. It's built it. We said city is built it. It's built it. And the wall of the city had 12 foundations. And in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. See? In them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb of Mashiach Yahushua. And he that talked with me had a golden reed to measure the city, and the gates thereof, and the wall thereof. Now to hear the measurement. And the city lieth 4 square, and the length is as large as the breadth. And he measured the city with the reed, 12,000 furlongs. The length and the breadth and the height of it are equal. So the length and the breadth and the height of it is all equal. And he measured the wall thereof 144 cubits, according to the measure of a man, that is, of the angel. Man, that's really, really huge and humongous. And the building of the wall of it was of jasper, and the city was pure gold. Hear that? The building of the city of it was as jasper, and the city was pure gold, like unto clear glass, clear gold and glass. And the foundations of the wall of the city were garnished with all manner of precious stones. The first foundation was jasper, the second japhire, the third chalcedony, the fourth an emerald, the fifth sardonyx, the sixth sardius, the seventh crystallite, the eighth beryl, the ninth a topaz, the 10th crystophysis, the 11th a jacinth, the 12th an amethyst. And the 12 gates were 12 pearls, like somebody go to the pearly gates, but it's only for the children of Israel, as we didn't read. And the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Every several gate was of 1 pearl. And the street of the city was pure gold. Can you imagine? We looking at asphalt and brick in all our cities. The streets of the city was pure gold, as it were transparent glass. But gold, you could see through it. Man. I saw no temple therein, for the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushai Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it. The city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon to shine in it, for the glory of the Most High did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof. You hear that? So let you know, Mashiach Yahushai is the glory of the Most High. What it say? And the glory of the Most High did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof. Let you know he's the glory of the Most High. And the nations of them which are saved, let you know, gonna be nations that's gonna be saved, the remnant of the nations that's saved, shall walk in the light of it. And the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it. They're going to, look, it tells you, go to, hold that, get Isaiah 60, the 60th chapter, and verse 11. It says, therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night. They're going to be open continually, 24/7. They're never going to be shut day nor night. That men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. See? So now, it's letting you know we're gonna be the new IRS, or Israelites Receiving Services, from those scriptures that we read here. Revelation 21:25. And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day. Same thing we just read in Isaiah 60 chapter. For there shall be no night there. Verse 24. And the nations of them which are saved, remember the nations going to be saved, shall walk in the light of it. And the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it, like we just read in Isaiah the 60th chapter, 11th verse. They're going to be bringing their goods or whatever they're going to bring that we have to make to us. It's beautiful. Verse 25. And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no night there. And they shall bring the glory and honor of the nations into it. And there shall in no case enter into it anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life. Is very important. That's what it's all about. Our names being written in the Lamb's book of life. It's going to be open if your name not written in the book of life. He told you in Revelation 20:15. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life, the Lamb's book of life, Mashiach Yahushai book of life, was cast into the lake of fire. You're going to burn. Burn, baby, burn. So, going back to Second Ezra, the 8th chapter. And it says, in verse 52, for unto you is paradise open. The tree of life is planted. The time to come is prepared. We just read about it. Plenteousness is made ready. Plenty of whatever you want. A city is built. We just read about the city that's built, New Jerusalem. And rest is allowed. So when is rest going to be allowed? Isaiah 14:1. Isaiah 14:1. For the Most High will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. He's going to choose the 12 tribes of Israel and set them in their own land. This is the Most High going to do. Not no man, but the Most High going to set us in our own land. And the strangers, these other nations, shall be joined with them. And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. They're going to cleave to us. After you see all the destruction that's going to happen in this earth that's written, they're going to be cleaving to us. And the people shall take them, we're going to take these other nations and bring them to their place, that remnant. That's going to be preserved of the Most High to do this. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, And the house of Israel shall possess them. We look at that, we're going to have rest. The house of Israel shall possess them, these other nations, in the land of the Most High for servants and handmaids, men servants and women servants. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. That's what it says. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. In 2 Ezra 6 and 9. Verse 3, because we look at it, we're going to have the rest. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Most High shall give thee rest. That's when we'll have rest. In the kingdom, when we have servants and handmaids, as it is written, and it shall come to pass in the day that the Most High shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. That's when we have rest, at that time. Okay? Going back to 2 Ezra 8:52. For unto you is paradise open. The tree of life is planted. The time to come is prepared. Plenteousness is made ready. A city is builded. And rest is allowed. We just see the city. Now we see when the rest going to be allowed. Yeah, perfect goodness and wisdom. Perfect keeping of the laws of the Most High and wisdom. Proper application of knowledge. We're going to have. Most High will. Verse 53, the root of evil is sealed up from you. Weakness and the moth is hid from you. And corruption is fled into hell to be forgotten. Going to be thrown in the lake of fire. That's that lake of fire, y'all. To be forgotten. Sorrows are past. Ain't no more crying. Ain't no more sadness. And in the end is showed the treasure of immortality. Eating of the tree of life. That's what it says, verse 52. For to you is paradise open, the tree of life is planted. We're going to be able to eat of the tree of life and live forever, to have immortality. Never to die. Never to see death. Okay? Does that sound great? We just got to work toward it. Ecclesiasticus 19 and 19. Ecclesiasticus 19 and 19. Man, it's going to be so beautiful. Ecclesiastes 19 and 19. The knowledge of the commandments of the Most High is the doctrine of life. You hear that? So you want your everlasting life? Come back to the commandments of the Most High. Learn them, live them, and apply them in your life every day. The knowledge of the commandments of the Most High is the doctrine of life. And they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. The only way you're going to do things that please him is do what he say do. His rules and regulations. Point blank. Beautiful. Look at Matthew 19 and 16. Matthew 19 and 16. Matthew 19 and 16. Matthew 19, 16. And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? So what can I do? What good thing can I do to have eternal life? But he called him Mashak good, first and foremost. And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? Because, right now, everybody say, how you doing? I'm good. Something new. Everything that be contrary to what we should be doing. Listen, he said, this is what Mashak said. Only begotten Son of the Most High. What did he say? He said, why callest thou me good? So why you calling me good? There is none good but one. That is the Most High. There ain't nobody good but the Most High. So when you say you good, you like the Most High, I don't think so. He didn't allow nobody to call him good. Listen. There is none good but one. That is the Most High. But if thou wilt enter into life, you want to enter into this everlasting life, which is eating of the tree of life, keep the commandments. Hear that? Keep the commandments. How you going to deny that? Then he got rid of the law. The commandments is the law. He said unto him, which, Mashiach said, knowing who he was talking to, thou shalt do no murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness. This is commandments that you can read about in Exodus 20th chapter, pertaining to how we serve each other. Love thy neighbor as thyself. I'm going to tell you. Honor thy father and thy mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. That's what he told him. This is what he said. The young man said unto him, all these things have I kept from my youth up. What lack I yet? Say, what do I lack yet? Mashiach said unto him, if thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast and give to the poor. So when you talk about what we're supposed to be doing, we're supposed to be giving to the poor. As he just said, go sell all you have and give to the poor. And thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. He was living large. He said, go sell what you have and give to the poor, and come follow him. So Matthew 25 and 31. I'll be speaking about the sheep and the goats. We're going to look at it. Matthew 25 and 31. When the Son of Man, who was a Mashiach Yahushai, shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, coming with 200 million angels. Revelation 9:16 declares. And before him shall be gathered all nations. Hear this? Before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. So he's not integrating all these nations. He's going to separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats, okay? So why you got to separate the nations? If it's okay to be integrated, why is he going to come back? When he come back with his holy angel, he's going to separate all the nations. If what we're doing and believing that you can just, be with whoever you want to do whatever you want to do, and like America, this great melting pot, why you got to separate all the nations? Let's find out. Let's go back to the law in the beginning, when the Most High gave all these nations their lands, how it operated and how it came to be. Go to Deuteronomy 32. Hold that, get in Matthew the 25th chapter. Matthew 25th chapter, we're going to go back there to bring more edification. But go to Deuteronomy 32 and 8. When the Most High divided, see? He didn't integrate everybody. That's why he's coming back. Mashiach coming back to separate the nations like he has separated them right here. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, that means he divided the nations' lands of where they would live at, that man and that woman of that nation, to create their nation. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, see, he didn't integrate no one. He separated the sons of Adam. He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. For the Most High's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. See? So he gave the other nations their land once he gave we, the children of Israel, our land. Look at Ecclesiasticus, the 24th chapter, and verse 8. Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, verse 24 and 8. So the Creator of all things gave me a commandment, and he that made me caused my tabernacle to rest, and said, let thy dwelling be in Jacob, and thine inheritance in Israel. See? So it's always going to be to the 12 tribes of Israel. Go back to Matthew, the 25th chapter. But I was there to show you that the Most High divided, separated all the nations, one from another. Once he gave Israel their land, he gave these other nations their land. Like you look in the back of the Bibles, you'll see the different nations that's in this Bible that's still here now, their lands that the Most High gave them. Now, going back to Matthew, the 25th chapter, jump up to verse 41. Matthew 25:41. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand. Well, let's read what are you going to say to those to his sheep? Verse 33. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left, right? When he come back, he'll set the sheep on the right hand and the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come, ye blessed of my father, those that kept the commandments of the Most High, inherit the kingdom prepared for you. See, the kingdom's already prepared. Prepared for you from the foundation of the world. Hear that? Now verse 41. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, these goats, and these goat-minded people, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire. So their name's never going to be written in the book of life, the Lamb's book of life. Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. Because you're going to be believing just what the devil says. Therefore, verse 46, all and these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into life eternal. To be able to eat of the tree of life, to live forever and ever and ever. Matthew 10, 28. Matthew 10 and 28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him, just the Most High, which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Cast your butt into the hell fire and melt you. That's what you fear. Say, are not two sparrows sold for a farthing, and one of them shall not fall on the ground without your Father. But the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Most I got a number on every last hair on our head. Fear ye not, therefore, ye are more value than many sparrows. He said, hey, take care of the sparrows. They ain't gonna fall to the ground. No matter what happens, they flying, they ain't falling to the ground. So he said, hey, fear ye not. Therefore, you are more valuable than many sparrows. See? So we're more valuable than many sparrows. But he told you, hey, are not two sparrows, verse 29, sold for a farthing, and one of them shall not fall on the ground without your Father. Most High makes sure that they don't fall to the ground. He's telling them we're more important to the Most High than sparrows. Sparrows. That's why I go to, because some people fear a lot. We talk a lot of stuff, but we have a lot of fear in us, man. Go to 2 Timothy 1 and 7. 2 Timothy 1 and 7. For the Most High have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power. That power, every time you see power for us, is spiritual power. In the name of the anointed Savior. And of love, keeping of his commandments, and having compassion toward each other. And of a sound mind, to be able to dissect what you got to dissect in everything that we have to deal with in life. St. John 3:15. St. John 3:15. That whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. You believe in Mashiach Yahushua, you should not perish, but have everlasting life. Now, there's a catch to it. This ain't to everybody, but let's see who it's talking to. Go to Acts 2:21. Because a lot of people use that and say, this is talking about everyone. No. Because Matthew 15:24 says, but he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Now this is what it says in Acts 2:21. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of Mashiach Yahushua shall be saved. Right? Who's it talking to? Ye men of Israel, hear these words. Mashiach Yahushua of Nazareth, a man approved of the Most High where? Among you, by miracles and wonders and signs, which the Most High did by him, where? In the midst of you, not in the midst of no other nation, as ye yourself also know. That's why I go to Joel 2:27. Joel 2:27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel. I'm in the midst of the Israelites, and that I am the Most High, and I'm your power, and none else. I mean, nobody else's. And my people, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, shall never be ashamed. Here go your John 3:16 right here. Verse 32. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord, or the Most High, shall be delivered. Where it says saved. Delivered, same meaning. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Most High have said, and in the remnant whom the Most High shall call. 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel. So when you go to John 3:16, it says, for the Most High so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Y'all go there, everybody go there. They know that scripture, right? But let's start with who the Most High said. For God, it says, right? That's what you think is saying this, who believe. You believe that he, all you got to do is call on the name of the Lord, you're going to be saved. He just said, ye men of Israel hear his words, but who is the Most High? Let's find out who he is. Clear it right up. You ain't got to go too far after this. Who is he? Is he your power? Is he every nation power? This is who we say he is the power of. Exodus 15 and 16. Exodus 3:15. And the Most High said moreover unto Moses, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, no one else but the 12 tribes of Israel, the power of your fathers, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob. Let's deal with that. That's who he is. He's the power of Abraham, who had a son named Isaac, who had a son named Jacob. Now, Abraham had Ishmael, but he didn't choose Ishmael. He chose Isaac, that son. And Isaac had Esau, but he didn't choose Esau. He chose Jacob. You see? So the Most High said he said, moreover, through the spirit of the Most High, the angel of the Most High is talking to Moses, saying, moreover, unto Moses, thus shalt thou say to the children of Israel, the power of your fathers, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob have sent me unto you. This is my name forever. So you can't go wrong with the power of Abraham, power of Isaac, the power of Jacob. He said, this is my name forever. And this is my memorial unto all generations. Go and gather the elders of Israel together and say unto them, the Most High, our power of your fathers, the power of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob, appeared unto me, saying, I have surely visited you and seen that which is done to you in Egypt. So they didn't say nothing about I am that I am. He said, hey, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, the power of Jacob. In verse 15 to 16. Verse 14, identifying the angel of the Most High, Hamashiach Yahushua. But that's another topic. But here we are, looking at what he told you, go tell the elders. Go tell the elders what? Power of your fathers, the power of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob, appeared unto him. Now, he said that's his name, the memorial to all generations, right? So let's see if Hamashiach identified him as such. Many places he's identified as such. But see, that can go over your head if you're not really looking to find, the proper understanding of how you can understand to the precepts. Otherwise, you just go by what somebody's saying. Because you're nothing but a bunch of puppets, bunch of robots and robotees. A lot of our people, they don't really, look into whether it's right or wrong. It's just you just go with it because you don't want to study. You don't want to take that time to study your own self. Therefore, they tell you anything, you believe it. This is what Hamashiach said, Matthew 22 and 32. Well, let's read verse 31. But as touching the resurrection of the dead, have ye not read that which was spoken unto you by the Most High, saying, this pertains to the Most High, I am the power of Abraham, and the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob. And Jacob was the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. The Most High is not the power of the dead, but of the living. See? So he the power of Abraham. He identified Mashiach Shai in red letters is telling you that he's the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, the power of Jacob. And Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. See, that's my name forever, the memorial to all generations, right? So let's go to Acts 3:13. We went from the Old to the Gospel, which is in the New Testament. We're going to look at Acts 3:13. What it says. Acts 3:13. Because we're looking at for God, as it says in John 3:16, the Most High power of Abraham and of Isaac and of Jacob, the power of our fathers. There it is. So when you're looking at for God so loved the world, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob, who was the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, how can he be anybody else's power? Can't be. So we look at God so loved who he loved. He say he loved who? Romans 9:13. Romans 9:13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved. So show me where he says he loved any other nation besides Jacob, who was the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. You have now to eternity. Who do he say he loved? He say Jacob, for as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So he hates someone. Esau represent the biblical name for the indigenous ancestors of the Edomites, who are the so-called Caucasians today. But Esau have I hated, so we don't love them. And he don't love no other nation besides Jacob. Unless you can find that for me, I'm willing to change if you can find where it said, but I know it said in Isaiah 40:17, it says all nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing and vanity. I didn't write it, but it's right there. Verse 15, behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance, dust on a scale. Behold, he taketh up the isles is a very little thing. The people in the islands is a very little thing. This is what it's written. Mysteries that's not known. See? So it says he loved 12 tribes of Israel. The world, what world? What's the world it's talking about? To remind you, show me where Mashiach Abishai came in the flesh and he's dealing with the books of Paul in the New Testament that y'all go by. He only had the law and the prophets to go by. That's it. So he give you understanding what's written. What world is he talking about? Isaiah 45:17. But Israel, that's the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel, shall be saved in the Most High with an everlasting salvation. That's what we talking about, this tree of life. I mean, it's going to last forever and ever and ever. But Israel shall be saved in the Most High with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, which means confused world without end. It's going to last forever and ever and ever. So that's the world. And it says, for the Most High so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, Matthew 15:24. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. We already went to Acts 2:21. That's where that comes. And we went to Joel 2:32, where it comes from, where he's actually quoting from. The fact of the matter is a conversation between two Israelite men of Judah, the tribe of Judah, speaking. So now when you look at Acts 2:21 and 22 again, and it shall come to pass that whosoever, same whosoever you see in John 3:16, shall call on the name of the Most High shall be saved. Ye men of Israel, hear these words. See? That's who it's talking to. Point blank. So now, let's look at St. John 5 and 39. St. John 5:39. St. John 5 and 39. And this is the Father's will, which hath sent me, that all which he hath given me, I should lose nothing, but should raise it up again at the last day. See? And this is the will of him that sent me. This is the will of the Most High that sent Mashiach Yahushua. That everyone which seeth the Son, Mashiach Yahushua, and believeth on him, may have everlasting life. And I will raise him up at the last day. Hallelujah. So, that's the promise. St. John 6 and 54. Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood hath eternal life, and I will raise him up at the last day. Let you know, hey, meaning what? Symbolically for believing in him, eating of his flesh and drink of his blood. He's talking about believing in him, nourishing yourself with the doctrine of Mashiach Yahushua, who comes in the volume of the book, bringing mysteries and things that are hid in the Most High to us. Let's look at verse 47. St. John 6 and 47. Verily, verily, truly, truly, I say unto you, he that believeth on me hath everlasting life. Hear that? You believe on him, you have everlasting life. But you got to believe in him according to what's the truth and what's written. Not just your own way of thinking. It says, I am the bread of life. So he's the bread of life. Your fathers did eat manna in the wilderness and are dead. This is the bread which cometh down from heaven, that a man may eat thereof and not die. Have everlasting life, giving you the way. That's why I say, I'm the way to show you how to follow the truth, which is the laws of the Most High. Psalms 119, 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. I am the way to show you how to follow the truth, which is the laws of the Most High, that's going to lead to everlasting life. No man cometh to the Father but by me. This is the bread which cometh down from heaven, that a man may eat thereof and not die. I am the living bread, which came down from heaven. If any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever. And the bread that I will give is my flesh, which I will give for the life of the world. And we know that world is talking about the life of the world, is talking about the world without end of the Israelites. The Jews therefore strove among themselves, saying, how can this man give us of his flesh to eat? That's carnal. He's not talking about his flesh. He's talking about spiritually understanding what he's saying. Then Mashiach said unto them, verily, verily, truly, truly, I say unto you, except ye eat the flesh of the Son of Man, and drink his blood, ye have no life in you. You got to be nourished by what it is he's bringing from the flesh that he came and the blood that was in his body at the time he came here on the earth to give us understanding, to show us the way, the path, to lead to everlasting life. That's what he's talking about. Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood have eternal life, and I will raise him up